You asked for a Q&A, and I'm delivering. I hope I don't disappoint. If you're curious to hear my answers, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to HMM Makeup, or Makeup. And as I said in my teaser, this is going to be a Q&A video. I put a poll out with a number of categories to ask basically what kind of content you wanted to see first on this channel, and I really do love the community tab. It informs my filming schedule a great deal, and I do hope that you will continue to actively interact with me on the community tab, because I really want to make sure that what I produce works not only for just overall views and whatnot, but I want to produce product or content, which is my product, I guess, that resonates especially with my core viewers, you who come and watch my videos on a regular basis. You're the reason I film on a regular basis, and I want to have that kind of connection and vibe with you that just kind of make this channel hum, right? When we're kind of on the same wavelength. And on that community tab, there were a number of categories I asked for to know what it is that you wanted to hear about on this channel. And from my point of view, I want to make sure that I'm producing content and interacting with our little group here in a way that makes sense for the community that we're building here. And so as much as I like to have folks dropping in who've never watched the channel, I do want to make sure that I'm doing things that you value, you being someone who comes and spends time here once in a while. And so the order that you gave me was, number one, a palette collection. And I did produce a 4-part palette series to cover all of my palette collection at the time of filming. I'll put the first part right here just to kind of get you going if you haven't seen it yet. And that was by far the biggest request, and then I've got the rest of them here. So the palette collection was 55% of the votes. It was a lot, and I think over 70%, 70 people, pardon me, not percent, 70 people cast their vote, which was awesome. Thank you for your feedback. Second was this video, but it's the 4th thing I do because I was too chicken to do this Q&A. So I stalled, and I did the 3rd most desired item, which was a haul video, and I had a few things to clear out before the end of the year as far as hauls, so that suited me just fine. And as I look in the corner here, which is where my haul stuff usually is, I have 2 more smaller, no, 3 actually, 3 haul little videos, nothing huge, but I do have 3 of them to film for you, and a 4th on the way. But that's going to be it. There's a significant video coming. I'll leave it at that. I'll just whet your appetite for what that might be. But I do want to obviously go through all those products so that you can see what I'm going to be playing with over the coming months, along with a number of other palettes you saw in my other hauls that are also in the queue to be playing with. I'm trying to go with palettes that are really, really interesting to me, and hopefully, and not or, palettes that are, I think, good quality and kind of timeless, that can be reviewed at any given time because they're probably going to be around for a long time. So there's lots and lots and lots of playing and reviews that are coming in the next number of months. Really, I'm kind of set up for it. So we'll see what happens. So there was that aspect of it. So hauls, that was something that was of interest, and then hauls were a little bit lower than this Q&A by 3%. So the hauls, 17% folks said hauls were what they wanted, and then 20% said the Q&A. But yeah, I was being a little bit chicken, and luckily I did ask, and you told me what it is that you wanted to know. And of course, I'm going to, I mean, this is the internet. I don't want to divulge everything because there are certain risks to doing that, but I will be reasonably open with you and share what I'm willing to share. And I think I can answer pretty much every one of the questions that were posed, pretty much. So the Q&A was 20%. And then there are only 2 more categories which received 4% and 3% of the votes. 4% was doing some lives. I am curious though if you'd be interested in me doing a premiere once in a while where I can chat with you as we're watching the video. Let me know in the comments if a premiere would be of interest to you. That's something that I did not ask. And then a tag video was the lowest, and I think a tag video, from a selfish perspective, I'll do them once in a while because I think they're fun and they're kind of nice to compare and contrast with other YouTubers. But I'll keep it in mind that as far as my frequent viewers, frequent hang around this joint kind of folks, that tags are not really the most interesting, at least compared to the other categories that I provided. And maybe I just need to do another kind of poll with other categories and see what you think. If you think I should do polls regularly with different categories or types of videos, let me know that as well, because I can certainly put one out with some other categories of videos that I could produce. Can you tell I'm stalling? I don't want to get into the Q&A. Okay, I'm gonna put my big girl pants on and get to your questions. One thing that I can say, and I have linked it on this channel a number of times, is French-Canadian family traditions. It's a video I did 2 years ago, and I think it's evergreen because we do the same thing, except for obviously this year where we could not have large gatherings. I'll put it right there just for your reference. Any video that I cannot link in the cards, they're always in the description box. Whether they're linked with cards or not, they're always in the description box. You can always find them there. And so if I'm talking about something, I can pretty much guarantee you that I've linked it in that space. So yeah, you can usually find quite a few links from me. Again, stalling. All right, so let's get into it. Thank you very much to Amy and Nicole for, or I'm not sure, is it Nicole or Nicole? You can maybe let me know in the comments. You gave me a number of questions to answer, and I think that that's just going to help me kind of move along. I was asked if I have pets, and my husband and I have been very big on fostering over a number of years. We used to foster greyhounds and lurchers, and lurchers are greyhound mixed with something else. And so we had a lot of big dogs come through this house, and I had one dog who, well, we had one dog, Isabelle, who unfortunately passed away some years ago. I'll put a picture of her right there. She was just a wonderful dog. She passed away at age 9 of an undiagnosed cancer, and she only, once we knew that something was wrong, we had very little notice. 2 weeks later, she was gone. So she was a lovely, lovely dog, and the fosters that we had coming in and out had, you know, a buddy, an automatic buddy with Isabelle in our house, and so she helped new dogs become comfortable, and also the dogs helped her become more outgoing because she was extremely quiet as a dog and would barely leave her pillow. If you know greyhounds, they sleep 18 to 20 hours a day, so she'd be on her pillow most of the time and just wouldn't venture out. And when we had fosters, she started to venture off her pillow more often, and she was just a delightful dog, absolutely delightful. So we fostered a number of dogs, and we ended up not having a dog for a while, and then we adopted Silhouette, who is our current four-legged buddy in our house, and she does come upstairs and visits once in a while. if she does come and visit during this Q&A, I will try to capture a little bit of video footage for you, because I tend to put stills on the videos. I don't want to affect her with the ring light. I think pets really don't like that, but if I can capture some video for you, I will. So that's the pet question. Oh, and we do have, from time to time, koi in our pond in the backyard. So that is something that we do tend to have once in a while. And our resident rabbits in the front yard, which we don't shoo away. We're quite happy to have them hop around our front yard, which we have no grass. It's all bushes and wood chip and whatnot. So it's quite a nice little area for bunnies to, like I said, to hang around. Next question I got was, are you married? Well, I did call my husband. So yes, married for 20 years. It's been a while. His mother approved, so I was legit and managed to marry the guy. So yeah, pretty happy. I have I'll see what it is that I can put up as a picture, but it's going to be, I'll find something that I'm okay with putting up. How's that? Another question from Amy. Actually, it's quite a bit. So it's about travel, food, movie, book, and color. Well, favorite color, I'll do the easy one because this is a makeup channel. Purple. Purple and lime green. And that color preference is what made me buy my second motorcycle. So my first motorcycle was purple and black. It was a Ninja, and Ninja 250. And then I went for a Honda CBR F3 series, and that was yellow and purple and some green on it as well. And so favorite colors, the bike, loved it. And yeah, I had a motorcycle for quite a number of years, a sport motorbike that it still pains me that I asked my husband to sell it for me. I wouldn't have been able to sell it because I just was working so much downtown and in an office building, and it just wasn't practical for me to keep a bike that I wasn't riding anymore. And I have to say, I do think from time to time that I would really, really like to ride again. So we covered color and motorcycles at the same time, go figure. I was also asked if I love to travel, and the answer is absolutely. I have been to 20 countries so far. 4 of them, I think it's 4 or 5, I'm losing count, in South Africa. So that was a really, really interesting trip. I have been to a number of places in Asia. So I've been to Tokyo is one place. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Pudong. A lot of places in Europe. So Italy, France, Spain. Trying to think if I'm missing something. And then to quite a few states in the US of A, quite a few provinces in Canada, which is my country. I live right in the middle of North America. So if you take North America as a whole, so you've got Canada, you've got the US, and you've got Mexico, and you take, just like a dartboard, you go right in the middle, that's exactly where I am. We are so close to the parallel that we're right in the center of the continent, and yeah, it's pretty easy to find us from that perspective. And do I want to travel again? Absolutely. And I'm an avid scuba diver, so I've done a lot of scuba diving. Had a chance in Japan to dive with whale sharks. I'll put a picture if you'd like to see one encounter. I think I have a picture of me next to the tail. Unbelievable. And as a matter of fact, I had one whale shark go right by me and end up kind of whacking me with its tail because they look like a submarine when you're looking at them coming by you, next to you, but you forget that this tail has a huge span going back and forth, and I got whacked. I didn't hurt the whale, or basically it's a fish, right? Whale shark is a fish. But I didn't hurt the fish. It didn't hurt me. It was just really funny, and I kind of laughed in my regulator, and anyway, that was fun. If you're a scuba diver and you know what I'm talking about, laughing in your regulator and hopefully not gurgling with water, let me know. Oh yeah, so big lover of all marine life, and my husband has a particular love for octopus, or octopi, however you like to say it. Do I have a favorite place to travel though? I'm going to say anywhere where I can scuba dive, pretty much. I love scuba diving, and I love nature preserves where the coral, the fish are cared for, and that there are restrictions against damage to the coral reef. While I'm at it, I also enjoy jumping out of planes, which I'm sure my parents were just beside themselves, because sometimes I'd take my motorcycle to go skydiving. I had a skydiver on the back of my helmet, with the parachute open and all that good stuff. So anyway, I was a kind of a crazy 20-year-old. Yeah. I don't think I'm much better now either. But anyway. Favorite food? If it runs, swims, or flies, I probably like it. I really do love sushi though. Actually, I was so happy with I don't order sushi very often. I mean, we're talking about 4 to 6 months sometimes between ordering it, because I really like the good stuff, and I don't like the supermarket kind of sushi is just not good. I took a picture of what I ate around the holidays. I permitted myself to get 4 mega rolls of sushi that lasted me 2 days. I'll put a picture of that. I'm a big sushi fan for sure. I would say probably that's my favorite food. What else would I say? I like bacon. I'm big on bacon. And a really good steak. Rib roast steak, rib steak is, I really, really like that quite a bit. And I love salmon and rainbow trout. I really do like those as well quite a bit. So I don't have a favorite food. In general, I like food. I like preparing food. I like shopping for food. I like eating food. I'm big on food. I'm not big on junk food, but I'm big on food. For example, today we're having a family member over that's in our tiny family unit, and I've got French onion soup going. We're going to do a rib roast, and there's something else that we're making. Roasted potatoes in a big pan. So yeah, that's the kind of food that we would eat on a regular basis. That and red wine. I do like my glass of red wine. Favorite movie? I have mentioned it often on this channel, and it is The Matrix. I am at one with Neo and Trinity. I love that original movie. I cannot wait for Matrix 4. If you have not heard it yet, there is a Matrix 4 coming. I cannot wait to see Keanu in that movie. For now, the Wick movies are helping me through. But I cannot wait for Matrix 4. It's been delayed because of everything going on, but I cannot wait to see that movie. Another few movies that I really, really like, I think it's called Les Boys. It's a Quebec movie, so it's a French-Canadian movie from Canada, and I think it's Les Boys. I'll put a picture of that movie poster right there. I really like that one a lot. I think I'm wrong. Anyway, I've watched that movie a number of times. For some reason, it's not coming to mind the title. And I really enjoyed Fight Club. and American Pie. Those are all big movies that I've watched a number of times. I've written articles about. I really, really like those movies overall. Those were all around the 2000 time frame, and they left a very, very good, big impression with me. And I really, yeah, I really appreciated those movies, and they were at an important time in my life, and so I rewatch them on a regular basis. And books. Oh my gosh, books. There are so many books that I like. Shawshank Redemption is another movie that I absolutely loved. For books, geez, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And not because it's motorcycles. It's an amazing book, absolutely amazing book. Another one is if you are struggling with feeling overwhelmed, Scarcity is a very, very good book. Elder Shafir and Sendil Mulenathan, I think, are the authors of that one. And yeah, that one is pretty fantastic. Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl is an amazing book. I am a book reviewer as well, by the way. If you're wondering why I've got these on the top of my head. There are a lot of good books. Let's see, is there fiction I could tell you about? I really loved, when I was a teenager, Agatha Christie books. I was really big on. I used to read them in French, but yeah, very big on those. Let me see if I can find one last one. For anyone who is in business, I'm going to say Strategic Intuition. It's a book called Strategic Intuition, and it's really interesting. Yeah. And there are plenty more that I could talk about. If you want a book recommendations video, let me know, and I will definitely consider doing one of those. Okay, Amy, this is a tough question. Unmet dreams. I've pretty much done the things that I have wanted to do. I am supporting some of my husband's dreams at this point, actually changing some things in my life to make them available to him. I'm trying to make a change in career right now. And so that is, I guess, a dream, a desire that I have. And with everything going on in the world, the last couple of years have not exactly been fantastic for job search. But I am trying to make a professional change, and that would be really, really nice to be able to do. So that would be a dream that I have right now that is an unmet dream. And I think that we have some other, like from a household perspective, we have some other goals and aspirations that we share that we want to get to. And I think those are just feeling like we're in a good space for ourselves where we can kind of live worry-free. And so that does fuel some of our discussions and some of our imminent plans. That would be big. I mean, a big dream that we had was to build our own home, which we did. I'm filming in it right now, and that was a really big thing. We've been here for almost 20 years, and so yeah. And my parents had built and renovated homes all through my childhood. So for me, the concept of building a home was not a big deal. So I mean, it's a big deal, but it didn't feel like a burden or feel like it was insurmountable. And we're pretty happy with our little, not so little house. So yeah. Do I collect anything other than makeup? Shoes. I like shoes. I've backed off quite a bit on shoes, but I'm pretty big on shoes. I love boots. I love high heels. Big fan of high heels. And although I mean, I go from high heels to tomboy in a split second. So I mean, and just like makeup, I'm fine with having a bare face, no makeup at all, or full glam, and anything in between. So for shoes, same thing. I'll have running shoes, I'll have boots, I'll have high heels, loafers, all sorts of things. I do like to have quite a variety of clothing and scarves and stuff like that as well. And I'm well equipped, and I do love my shoe and clothing collection. I have quite a bit, and I just go shopping in my closet. That's pretty much it. I feel like I've got everything that I need, and then some. And another question was, do I cook? And so I think that that's asked and answered. We cook from scratch pretty much every day. We barely ever eat out. I talked about sushi a couple times a year. I definitely do that. But we pretty much cook everything in the house. And technically, when we go out to eat, we're often disappointed because we can do a pretty good job at home. And so it has to be the right restaurant at the right time for us to truly, truly enjoy a night out somewhere. Because yeah, we're pretty badass in the kitchen. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I think we're gourmand. We really do love food, and I'm surprised I'm the size I am because I really, yeah. Food and me, I guess, we're pretty tight. Pretty tight. All right, I think I got through all of Amy's questions, and Nicole was nice. Now, is it Nicole or Nicole? Nicole? Let me know in the comments, Nicole, or Nicole, which way you go for your name pronunciation. We are a big world, so I don't want to make any assumptions. Nicole said, I'll say Nicole for now. Nicole said she would love to know about our pets. So I think I've answered the pet question. And work. Okay, well I can talk a little bit about work. I wear 3 hats, technically 4 if you consider HMM makeup. Wow. I have a few different hats. So my official schooling, where I went all the way, is I got my MBA. That was back in 1999. And with that, I went into strategic planning and business forecasting and business casing. So making a case for going into a given venture or taking on a given line of business for a company. And I've done that for a number of years. I did it inside a company for about 13 years, and then I have also done it from a consulting perspective. So I do strategic planning and business planning for companies as small as just a few owners up to. So that's kind of where my main business focus has been. My family had a retail operation of up to 3 stores as I was growing up. So I was managing a store when I was 15-ish, 15, 16. And now I have, I still do consulting with companies of various sizes, just like I mentioned, but I also went back to school in 2014 to become a kinesiologist. And a kinesiologist is essentially a fitness trainer who goes to school for 3 to 4 years to learn about kinetics, about kinesiology, about the movement of the human body. So muscles, ligaments, skeletal system, the cardiovascular system, and we do our best to help people feel better. And part of the reason I left my corporate job when I did was because I was seeing a number of folks I would call the Walking Dead. That's before the series, by the way. I was using the term The Walking Dead before The Walking Dead was even a show. I called them The Walking Dead. People who, because of stress, because of bad posture, because of sitting for hours and hours in a day, were really ill. And I was a corporate person myself. I understood why. And I thought I could help people. I thought I could help people by going back to school, becoming a kinesiologist, and with a business background, focus on business people and the ailments that business people have, or anybody who works office-based, sits around a lot, to help them with back pain, back pain is huge, knee pain, foot pain, trouble with shoulders and posture, that come with being very sedentary and maybe not eating super well. And so I have helped a lot of people with a lot of these issues as a kinesiologist. I'll put a picture of my gym here as well. So I do have a facility that is part of our house, actually, and do help some folks as well. And speaking of The Walking Dead, here's a really good one. I was looking for a logo for the gym, and I had something specific in mind. And we went through 4 or 5 people who just weren't kind of getting the concept. No fault of their own. Maybe we weren't communicating it well, but we could not get it across what kind of logo we wanted. And so a friend of ours, actually the husband of my first employee with the gym, had an idea. He said, I have this friend in the US, maybe he'd be willing to give this a shot. And I said, sure, at this point, what do I have to lose? And he got what we were looking for on the first try. I mean, we made slight adjustments, but he pretty much got the spirit of what it is that I wanted. I wanted a death's head moth, which is a renewal symbol. So we try to help people renew their bodies, revitalize, and so the death's head moth to me was a perfect logo. So he got it so quickly. And then later on, I find out that this guy was the guy who forged the samurai sword in the Walking Dead series. So if you're a big fan of the Walking Dead, the guy who built that sword did our logo for the gym. I know, small world. So yeah, I thought that was something that was neat to share. And so that logo to me it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I think about it every single time I look at the logo. And he got it right. The logo means a lot to us, and yeah, I'm really, really happy to have that symbol in my life. Yeah. And when it comes to the gym, we did a number of competitions in a few different sports, and yeah, it's a source of accomplishment, I guess, from a perspective of helping people, and it's also been a source of personal well-being by challenging ourselves and doing things that we never thought that we would be able to do. And I think that the gym is a source of inspiration for ourselves and for others from time to time. I think I've answered your question, Nicole. If not, let me know in the comments and I will see what else I can tell you. What made me choose my career? Well, as you can tell, I can't decide what I want to be when I grow up, because who knows what I'm going to be doing in 5 to 10 years from now. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing YouTube, and I've got a couple channels. So my other channel is a book review channel, by the way, and I'll put it there. I've been neglecting it, but I have full intention of ramping it back up because I have a lot of books to talk about. Okay, so here's definitely a question that's relevant to this channel, and it is from Nicole again. Lastly, when did you start wearing makeup, and when did it become a love affair? Okay, big thing. I had a big problem growing up, and it's called eczema, or eczema, depending where you live in the world. And I could not wear makeup. I could get away with mascara, a little bit of liner, and sometimes eyeshadow, but I didn't have a whole lot of eyeshadow. I'll put the single palette that I had. I'll put a picture of it right there. That's all I had, and I had that thing, that monstrosity, for 10 years. And all I pretty much used was the gold, the peach, and the pink shadows. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had really bad skin. Really bad skin. And it's only when I discovered how I could eat that basically made it unnecessary for me to use any ointments or pills or light therapy or any of that stuff. But my face was a mess on a regular basis because of eczema. I had cuts on the sides of my mouth that were very painful. From time to time, I get them being pretty dry on the sides, but I don't have the kinds of cuts that I used to. My hands used to be a big mess, and they're not anymore. I barely have any issues with my hands anymore. And it's all of it really was to do with certain foods that I just cannot eat. I just can't. If I eat, I get a flare up, and they're very common foods that frankly they make me sick. And I can see what they're doing on the outside. I can only imagine what they were doing on the inside. So if you have inflammatory issues, there are a lot of foods that can really mess us up. And it took a long time for me to know this stuff, but now that I've discovered it, I would never go back. There's no way. So I'm not answering the makeup question. I started, but then I got on a tangent, and I'm coming back. So I always loved the idea of makeup. I wanted to go and get more makeup, but when most of the time you can't wear what you want to wear, you kind of give up, right? And so when I fixed my food issue, which I didn't know, right? You have to know something's an issue in order to fix it. Well, all of a sudden, everything opened up to me. I could do things that I never could. Like, for example, for working out, I couldn't do a pull-up because I couldn't hang on to the bar. My hands would bleed. It was really rough. And now I can do whatever I want. Like, whatever I want because I fixed the food thing. So because of that, I also fixed my face, right? I can now wear whatever kind of makeup I want. And so what happened is I've gone gangbusters because I am essentially a teenager in my mid-40s self. I am playing and experimenting with makeup in a way that I couldn't when I was a teenager and a young adult. So I'm having a midlife crisis brought about by being able to be a teenager as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to wear all the silliness and all of the crazy ideas that I have that I never got to play with when I was a teenager. So I could not be happier about it. And what is awesome is I get to share the journey with whoever wants to take time out of their day and watch along with my silliness behind the camera. Or I guess in front of the camera. In front of the camera. I'm behind the camera when I'm editing, but right now I'm in front of the camera. So it is a love affair. I am kind of in the late teens, early 20s, madly in love with all things cosmetics, and yeah, and just happy to share. It's awesome. And finally, lastly, Nicole says, if I could only wear one brand for the rest of my life, what would it be? I'm going to say Clionadh Cosmetics. That's what I'm going to say. And the reason I'm going to say that is what they produce is beautiful. Let me show you one of their palettes. This is a magnetic palette from Clionadh Cosmetics. First off, can we take a second for the logo? It's the same logo as I have on my phone. I have that logo on my phone as a backdrop always. I just think it's beautiful. And their products are beautiful. So I love lime green, so I've got some lime green up here. And some of their unique, one-of-a-kind big pans that have multiple shadows in them. I've got some highlighters that I use as eyeshadow, some beautiful mattes right here. Yeah, Bramble is gorgeous. I love this kind of color in the crease. So yeah, that is Clionadh Cosmetics, and I have 3 of these palettes. I really love their formula, and I also have some of their multi-chromes. And so here's my multi-chrome collection. It's not huge, they're pricey, but they are such beautiful, beautiful eyeshadows. I mean, just fantastic. They're so gorgeous. Yeah, so Clionadh would be the brand that I would go for. It's an indie brand based out of Eastern Canada. And if I were to go with a more mainstream brand, gosh, that would be really hard to pick. And I'm going to say Urban Decay. And I'm going to say Urban Decay. And remember, I have not been into makeup that long. I really like the Urban Decay aesthetic. I'm big on purple. Lots of their packaging is purple. Lots of their eyeliners are purple. The ultraviolet from Urban Decay, I was just so excited when that came out. And yes, I think it's a beautiful purple palette. I'll fight you over it. But I like the creativity, and I think that their liners, their range of colorful liners is crazy. I love their heavy metals liquid liners that are glittery. I think those are fantastic. The Freak mascara, I'm in love. I'm really in love. And I want to try the Perversion liner. I like the Perversion mascara, although the Lash Freak is my absolute new love. I've discovered their new brow products. The Inked Brow is pretty awesome. I like their setting spray. I don't think setting spray is necessary, by the way, but I get them sometimes for free, and I'm not going to say no to setting spray. I quite like it. And I really appreciate their Moon Dust shadows, whether it's liquid or powder. The Electric palette is an absolute staple in my collection for amazing colors. I've got just on my counter right now, I've got the Stoned palette. I really like a lot from Urban Decay. Yeah. I love their Vice lipsticks. I was wearing 1993 just a few days ago. I love Bobby Dazzle is another bullet lipstick from Urban Decay that I really, really like. So if I gave you two answers, I guess. I gave you an indie answer and I gave you a megacorp answer. I just really like the breadth of products that Urban Decay produces. And yeah, sometimes they miss the mark. I'll say that much. But the last few that I've picked up, the Stoned palette, the Naked Honey, and definitely the Ultraviolet, have been really, really great releases from them. And I always look forward to seeing what it is they will come out with next. So I cheated. I've got an indie and a big brand. But I think I can get away with it. Right? Right, Nicole? Right? So that's it. I've answered all the questions, and hopefully this was a reasonable amount of information. And I look forward to your comments. I'm guessing there might be a few. Maybe this was just too long and boring. I don't know. But for those of you still here at the end of the video, you're a trooper. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single minute we get to spend yapping together, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And watch out for that community tab. I will have another poll coming out so that we can keep this channel humming along and have some fun stuff to talk about. But for now, take care.